What does the Warden do in Minecraft? This video will explain the Warden spawning, how they target players in attack, and how to defeat the Warden. What is the Warden? The Warden is a new mob in the 1.19 update, the Wild update. The Warden will have a health of 500. This is the highest of any mob in the game. They have two attacks, a ranged and melee attack. The melee attack can do 16 damage at easy, 30 at normal, 45 at hard, so the melee attack could kill you with one hit. The melee attack will disable shields for 5 seconds. The ranged attack or sonic boom can do 6 damage at easy, 10 at normal, 15 at hard. The sonic boom bypasses shields, armor, and can pass through blocks. The sonic boom attack will be projected from the Warden's chest with green and blue particles. The damage from this can be reduced with the protection enchantment and resistance effect from potions. The Warden is completely blind. Wardens rely on smell and hearing. What this means is they go off of vibrations you make like walking. I believe the smell refers to being able to differentiate specific mobs or players when they make vibrations. Also, the smell seems to be specific to when you are close to the Warden. They can smell to try and find the direction to move. The Warden also has a hitbox of 1 wide and 3 tall, so they can follow you when attacking through a 1 wide space. They will wander around and can walk over rails. The Wardens are immune to fire and lava damage. The Warden, when killed, will only drop a sculk catalyst block and 5 XP. The sculk catalyst can generate other sculk blocks when mobs that drop experience die near the sculk catalyst. How do Wardens spawn? The only location that Wardens spawn is in the ancient city through the sculk shriekers. The ancient city can be found in the deep dark biome. This is a new biome that will be deep underground near bedrock. The ancient city in deep dark will have similar blocks like sculk, deep slate, sculk shriekers, sculk sensors, wool, and sculk catalysts. How the Warden is spawned is when the warning level reaches 4. Activating the sculk shrieker will increase the warning level by 1. It can be any sculk shrieker, and the number of times is specific to the player. To get this number to go down, it will decay after 10 minutes. One way to activate the sculk shrieker is to step on it. Another is by making vibrations within range of a sculk sensor. A vibration is a lot of different actions like walking, jumping, flying with elytra, and placing blocks. If you want to walk around the ancient city without activating the sculk sensors, the best way is to sneak. This will cause no vibrations. The other way is with wool. Wool has a unique ability that it will block vibrations from opening a chest, for example, or you can walk on it without causing vibrations. The Warden will be spawned when the player triggers the sculk shrieker 4 times. The only other spawning condition is that it has to be a light level of 11 or below. There also has to not be another Warden within 48 blocks. The Warden will spawn within an 11 by 13 by 11 area of the sculk shrieker by emerging from the ground. The Warden will be invulnerable when they are doing this. How does the Warden attack? As I said earlier, the Warden is blind, so they rely on sound and smell. Most of this comes down to vibrations you make. Nearby vibrations agitate the Warden, and they will move towards the origin of the sound. The Warden will have a range of 0 to 150 of how angry it is at each suspect. Different actions will cause the anger to increase. The Warden will focus more on player vibrations, attack, and contact even when enraged at other mobs. The Warden prefers to track down the most suspicious rather than the closest. When the Warden reaches 80 anger with a target, it roars and pursues the target. When the Warden is doing this, it will pathfind towards the target like normal regardless of vibrations. If the player or mob collides with the Warden or attacks first, the Warden immediately enters an angry state. The Warden also has souls in its chest that are low throbbing heartbeat, which occurs at the same time as the darkness effect. As the Warden is more angry, these souls and heartbeats will become faster. The darkness effect will cause the player's vision to go black before returning to normal. If you are trying to find out how angry the Warden is, you can figure this out by how fast the heartbeat is beating and the darkness effect is occurring. The anger will decay at a rate of 1 per second and will clear completely if the target dies. After 60 seconds of being calm and not detecting any vibrations, the Warden will burrow into the ground and despawn. Apart from players, Wardens will track down and attack all other mobs except for other Wardens. The Warden can also follow non-mob entities mobs that make vibrations like projectiles and minecarts. How to defeat the Warden. The Warden is the most dangerous mob in the game. It has the highest health of any mob and does more damage. It has more health and can do more damage than the Wither and the Ender Dragon. Because of this, it is going to be very difficult to kill this mob. My first suggestion is to avoid spawning the Warden. You can do this by sneaking, not stepping on sculk shriekers, or use wool blocks to avoid making vibrations or blocking vibrations. The ancient city also appears to have areas where there may not be any sculk shriekers and others that will have a lot of packed in a small area. If you do spawn a Warden, the best idea might be to just sneak and avoid the Warden. Basically not increase its anger. If you give the Warden enough time, it may calm down and despawn. One thing to keep in mind is that the Warden does act similar to other mobs. If you go into space that is only 2 blocks tall, the Warden can't follow you. Also, the Warden will think trapdoors are full blocks and will fall into a hole. The problem with this is that the Warden can still attack you with the sonic boom. You can use entities like minecarts or mobs to get the Warden to fall into these traps. The Wardens won't despawn because of the continual vibration from a minecart. From the trap, you can use a lot of different methods to try and kill the Warden, like potions, iron golems, bees, pointed dripstone, explosions, cactuses, suffocation damage, or drowning. Just keep in mind that any method you use will need to be able to do 500 damage to the Warden. I would strongly recommend not attacking the Wardens one-on-one. The Warden's drops are not anything special. Skull catalysts can be found in the ancient city and the deep dark biome without killing the Warden.